Keeping the campus safe for staff and students is really very important. All universities, and our university is a community in its own right. So having expectations and codes of practice for staff and students is very important, but also having freedom of speech, the opportunity to challenge and to question and debate, and an atmosphere where that's welcomed rather than resisted.
I think we have to acknowledge some of the recent high-profile cases we've seen in the media, particularly in terms of sexual harassment, in terms of homophobia and race cases. And I think part of the starting point is accepting our responsibility in terms of educating our staff and our students in terms of acceptable standards of behaviour. We also need to consider some of the boundary issues as well. Where do our boundaries lie? Is it just issues on campus, or is it particularly with students, issues off campus? Some of the issues we've had to face at DMU have actually all emanated off campus, and part of our starting point is that our issue or not? I think the answer is it is our issue, and we need to make it really clear in terms of what our principles are, what we will tolerate, what we won't tolerate, and what we will do when we find out these sort of issues. We definitely need a consistent approach, and we definitely need to educate staff and students much more in terms of what we will tolerate and what we won't.
I think there's also a responsibility of university communities to ensure that people can express themselves in a safe way. We take our responsibilities to ensure freedom of speech, but also to make sure that we prevent hate speech taking place on campus, very seriously. Our default approach is always to try and enable safe speech, but to make sure that we can mitigate any potential risks as a result of that. We've had lots of experiences over the past couple of years of enabling very difficult and contentious debates that people have found difficult, they've disagreed with the subject matter. However, they've all been conducted within the spirit and the letter of the law, and I think that's a key responsibility for us.